sometimes saving money looks really gross. With Modern Homemakers, and I am in the midst of switching my children's rooms because basically this giant old-fashioned wall mount TV behind us here, I don't want to move it. I'm going to show the old-fashioned giant monstrosity, and the girls don't need the TV because their computer has a DVD player. Anyway, so that is the reason, and I have to paint it because my husband says no way to a pink room for his son. I don't know what he's talking about. Who cares, right? Okay, I agree. It was necessary. But I don't want to spend any money on this project because my son is a massive graffiti artist right now. And so I decided to borrow a playbook page out of my early days of moving into this house when we had just moved out from living with my parents and we had like zero dinero, and the place was a foreclosure that we were like ripping out walls and whatever, and we had to do it all like with no money and love from our friends. Anyway, so one of the things I first did was I asked people for their old paint that they didn't want anymore. You know, the half a gallon here and the half a gallon there that have been sitting on their shelf for a decade because that was 10 years ago they painted a room that color and they changed it already. So what that lent me was a bunch of different stuff that was in bad condition. And this is actually one, you can see it's separated. There's like an oil on top, and most people would just throw this away and run for the hills. But guess what? It's 4 years later and I still don't really have any money. So what you have to do is be careful. There is going to be rust around cans, and you're going to have to stir a lot. And some of it is going to just be garbage. This is one that I actually mixed 3 different cans of paint. You can see a beige and a green and white seem to be in everything because everyone gave me like little remnants of off-white paint. So I am not giving up on this can yet because I want to do one wall of like a green color, but let's go ahead and take a moment. I've already done 2 walls in this room. You can see I just painted this yellow wall, which that yellow was actually like a gold and an off-white and a white, and I just had enough of it to do one wall, and I've got this teeny little bit left for if I need to do touch-ups or whatever. And then this wall over here, it's the same thing. I had enough to just do one wall. So you got to get creative if you want to try to be frugal with your paint, but that's a really good thing to do. Another thing you can do is Oops Paint. Oops Paint is like at Lowe's or Home Depot near the paint section. You will see, you have to look closely. There's generally some sort of shelf, and they'll have like reduced and other types of different stickers on them. And what that means is someone bought the paint and they were like, oh, that's the wrong color of blue or yellow or whatever color it was, and they don't want it. So Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, they've already mixed up paint in this random color that they can't just put it back on the shelf because, people may or may not like that color. So you can get like a gallon of paint for like $5 instead of 30. So that's another really good frugal painting tip. Another thing that I do is even like, I got this whole painting set that I'm using in this room today. Family Dollar was going out of business, and I knew it was like a year ago. I was like, I knew I'll be painting something eventually because I'm always painting something. Anyway, so I bought this set, and even, it's not really a nice set, but even brushes and rollers that aren't nice, you can get multiple uses out of them. I am moving on to my 3rd color with this brush, and I'm hoping to get color number 4 and the next room with different colors as well done with this. And this roller, it was the blue wall. You can see there's still like a hint of blue in there. And I just rinsed it out really carefully. And this is, once again, it's not an expensive roller, but if you are feeling the pinch and you want to do some decorating in your house, you can still do it even without money. So I rinsed it out really well, and then I just rolled it in a paper towel. And it's still a little damp. I probably need to roll it a bit more, but don't let the fact that you don't have like a big remodeling budget or a big decorating budget, to keep you from having fresh paint and just clean rooms and just having that feeling. Yep, and I have scraps of white paint, and my graffiti artists who have grown out of it, they promised me they will never do this again. I'm going to make their bed white again because it was intended to be a white bed in the beginning. So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you, if you don't have money, like me, and you want to have just a nice living space. You know, I really want my kids' rooms to be nice, and I'm switching them. I'm gonna make the girls quilts. I'll try to do a video on that. I'm taking a bunch of scrap fabric and making them coordinating quilts for their new room because they're turning into tweens and they're growing up on me. Anyway, but especially in here, I didn't want to spend a single penny because I know 2 days from now, after I get everything moved in, he's gonna take crayons and markers and pens and draw all over it because he sees the world as a giant canvas and he's the artist. That's what my 3-year-old sees the world as. Anyway, I just wanted to give you some quick tips, even though I look crazy because I'm in painting clothes. So I'm not putting on nice clothes to paint. I realized I should show off after all my laborious stirring. This actually does turn into the little minty kind of green color that it was supposed to be. And what was I gonna say? Oh, be careful when you pour it because, you know, there's gonna be, once again, rust in really old paint cans, and the color under the lid may not be the exact color. So like when I pour it, I may find streaks of color again. Oh, I'm not seeing it in this one. The last one I did, I had a bunch of different colored streaks that came out, and it was a big hassle. That's also a nice technique there for getting the paint off the side. Oh, missed that one. An almost nice technique. Anyway, so really you're going to be stirring a lot more because when you go buy brand new paint from the store, they shake it in their fancy little machine and it's just all nice. And you saw this was just totally separated. So you got to scrape the side, scrape the bottom, get it totally incorporated before you dump it because you're never going to find this exact color again. Anyway, oh, I should probably show. You can just make so many different colors. Like, if you've ever seen videos like in my living room, like with my couch and stuff, you see my walls are gray. That was white paint because I had white and off-white and beige paints. Everyone gave me random bits about. And I bought a really small, not even a half gallon of black paint, and I mixed it with that, and that is how I got gray. So get creative. You know, like this washed out pink that's back here, that was hot in your face pink with white. So it's like I didn't have enough of the pink I wanted, so I just made a lighter pink. You know, you just gotta kind of be flexible. You're not gonna get the exact shade necessarily, but you can get close. So obviously edgers and painter's tape, they are wonderful things. They do really well. But guess what? They cost money. So my house is 70 years old. I like to joke that there's not a straight seam or wall in the whole place. It's either shifted or been prepared improperly or whatever. So edgers don't really work well for me anyway. So I just wanted to point out that you do not have to have painter's tape or a fancy edger. You can go just with a normal brush right up to the edge. You can see there's some pink up there. I got to go a little bit onto the white to cover the pink that I did before. Anyway, as long as you fan it down and then make sure, ooh, I got way too much paint in here. A second. Gonna be picking that up. Fan it out and then go up as close as you can with the roller. You're not even really gonna see that. Got way too much paint. We gotta spread that out. Ooh, but shows me another thing about working with old paint. You see, oh, there's gonna be crumbly, ucky pieces in it. That's why my clothes are so gross, because I just wipe it on me. My rag is for spills. So make sure you always have like a wet, wrung out rag. Like if you get it on the ceiling, you gotta get it off fast, otherwise you're gonna be painting the ceiling. But anyway, I'm trying to think if I have any more tips, because I realize I just do a lot of weird money-saving things when it comes to painting and decorating, because, you know, we're women. We want a nest. We want our areas to look nice, no matter what our paychecks are. So anyway, same thing over here on the side. You know, I even have a big spatula thingy that I use as well. But, you know, even just with a paintbrush, if you're really careful and you go slow, you'll see I can go all the way down, even if I'm switching colors on sides of walls or around trim. I have used before I got my big rectangular spatula thingy, which I must have left downstairs when I just switched colors. Anyway, I've cut up pizza boxes and other cardboard things and shoved it in cracks and used that as my paint edger. So get creative and don't let the house be, not what you want it to be. You can totally make it pretty without spending a bunch of money. So this, for me, if you count the paintbrush set, is probably $5 for this whole room that I'm doing today. Can't beat that. So anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and that you just look into your lives and find ways to save money and take off the financial pressure, because life is expensive.